Hello everyone, I am CoolGuy, welcome back. A huge this week at Bungie came out, and what I really want to focus on, there are other good things in here like Bright Dust, but I really want to focus on the mouse and keyboard nerf, essentially. I'm doing this live, so you might see some jump cuts sometimes, but that's alright, we'll get through it. And with this video, I want to help try to understand what they were trying to go for here, and I see a lot of things online pushing for a certain narrative, and believe me, you do not want that. I'm gonna walk through that. They said that in preparation for crossplay, they're adjusting the recoil stat. Currently, several weapon archetypes have the recoil reduced by around 40% when using mouse and keyboard. This results in an issue where players on mouse and keyboard are pretty much able to ignore the stability stat, creating unintended discrepancies in weapon performance between controllers and mouse and keyboard. So, the following archetypes are going to have their mouse and keyboard recoil adjusted closer to controller. Reduce the difference from 40% to 20%. Auto rifle, scout rifle, pulse rifle, SMG, hand cannon, machine gun. So a while ago, I did a video on PC versus controller recoil. Cammy, I didn't even have a PC at the time. Cammy sent me over gameplay, Cammy Cakes, and you can see Ace of Spades where it is. And then when I switch over to controller, this is back before they had the hand cannon recoil change. It was bad. It was all over the place. They've since fixed this. It's not this bad. We'll kind of come back in. This is with a controller on PC. I mean, we're looking pretty good, and now that console has the field of view, it's pretty much like this. But when you start comparing the two, like this is mouse, and you can actually tell whenever I'm using a mouse, when you look at that recoil and that aim assist cone, controller, mouse, controller, mouse. But, you know, they've always inherently just been way more accurate. And this goes with everything. And one of the big ones is an SMG. I remember doing the raid and trying to get like a world's first completion. And there's only like one console team that did it. Sometimes console teams never do it. It's always PC. And it's like, what are they using? Oh, they're using Recluse. Well, you know, SMGs on MnK, pretty easy to control. On controller, you know, trying to dot up 20 meters away, 30 meters away, PvE enemies, it's just simply not happening, right? So they are buffing these overall, but when you look at various weapons, MnK versus controller, it's very, very obvious that there's a discrepancy, right? And a lot of people are wondering, hey, console players have wanted more stability for years. And honestly, back in D1 stability, like, I wish that we could go back there, but in this particular case, they decided to nerf mouse and keyboard recoil instead of buffing controller recoil. And I see a lot of people saying that they should have done the buff to the controller recoil. I'm telling you right now, you do not want that. Because if controller ever gets this stability, which is right here, this is MnK, and this is controller. Like MnK right here, it's a laser beam with pretty much anything that you use. Controller, and it has a little bit to it. I'm telling you right now, you do not want to have that kind of stability on a controller with the aim assist in this game. So you can say over and over, oh, why did they nerf that? Why couldn't they just buff controller recoil? You do not want a 100 aim assist Hawk Moon on controller. You don't. You will get eaten alive. It will be the best input method, period, if it's able to shoot like this. But we can try to find a middle ground here. We've been talking about it on the Firing Range podcast since like week 1. I mean, we're on episode 21 and we do it bi-weekly. We've been talking about it for a long time. Let's remember, Destiny 2 was a primary v primary game. It was double primary, so all of those stats are jacked up. Aim assist in the 90s, you know, we see it 95, 100 recoil direction. They're designed to try to duel. Then we got special weapons coming in. And like the middle ground would have been to universally nerf aim assist on pretty much everything in the game. So you have to think, and this is where I'm trying to see where they're coming from. They're trying to balance out when they do crossplay. And I don't fault them for this, but what would you rather do? Go through hundreds of weapons aim assist stats, nerf all of them to 60 or 70 or 50 compared to the 90 or 100 that they're at, or take per archetype auto rifle, scout, pulse, submachine gun, hand cannon, machine gun, and nerf one input to kind of similarly match the other one. I think the long haul, like the long play here, instead of advocating for controller recoil to get buffed, like what kind of needs to happen is they both need to be really good, but the aim assist in the game needs to come down. And of course, I'm not a developer, but as a player and what I see, when you look at this aim assist stat, it's all under the hood. It's kind of like physiology. It's kind of like on a cellular level. I'm pretty sure all of you out there know what the powerhouse of the cell is. You can't see it, but it's kind of happening under the hood, like it's going on. The same thing with that aim assist. 90, 100 aim assist Hawk Moon with near max stability on a controller, it will get out of hand. That narrative just needs to stop. The next thing really Like I said, the long game would be to nerf aim assist across the board and buff weapon stability and recoil direction, just make them feel good in your hands. Now, as it sits right now, MnK players, like, I don't know what they're gonna do to SMGs, I don't know what they're gonna do to auto rifles. I mean, it honestly sounds like right here, this is a controller. This is what MnK might look like, and that's gonna be jarring to a lot of players. That goes for raids, that goes for PvE, like, this is a huge change. I see where they're coming from, and I kind of look at where I think it should go. Like I said, the aim assist thing, it sounds like it's easier to nerf the 5 or 6 weapon classes on one input than to individually go through hundreds of weapons to adjust aim assist stats. And while doing that, you're going to be buffing the recoil. And that's kind of where I'm getting with this video. You really don't want PC recoil on a controller with 100 aim assist. Like, it will be nasty and out of control. So rather than them doing that, they did the opposite thing. There's also a thing in here on sniper flinch. They said that they increased the aim down sight's flinch to snipers when taking damage from other players. Like, I'm all cool with that as long as it's not early D1 and middle D1. And if you haven't seen this, I have a treat for you. What's nice about having a YouTube channel is you kind of catalog everything that's happened. There was a point in time when you just got flinched so high into the air, you would literally see your barrel. Like, the barrel would be over the target. And we complained about this. We're like, hey, this is a little too much. So my fear is that it gets back to around here. We don't want this. This is bad. On the other end, I mean, we're going to see how it plays out. Good snipers will be able to play with it. They're going to land their shots. In PvE, the sniper flinch kind of knocks you all over the place in the first place. Sometimes it's kind of hard to land a triple tap on like a champion or something that's just moving around and then flinching you. Good fix for Ace of Spades and Mori that they talk about fusion rifle damage. Breach loading grenade launchers, rocket launchers are gonna have increased damage by 30%. Like, there's some good things in here, like that with the Godslayer warheads charged with light buff. It should be great. Rockets should be back. Because honestly, I believe that that's what that buff gives. Godslayer warheads, 30% more damage. So you're adding on top of that, it's gonna be insane. They said exotic rockets have been adjusted individually, so we'll see how that goes. But these should be really, really good. They also nerf swords. And ultimately with these things, we don't know until they're in our hands. But I do want to get that out there though, of where I think that they were coming from. It's going to be easier to nerf an input than go through every aim assist in the game. Or keep all that aim assist in the game and have controllers have that PC recoil. I would like to hear your thoughts. I mean, like I said, I'm not sure that this was the correct way to go about it. I think that there were better options. I'm not a developer. I mean, I try to see where they're coming from. Like, I'm not sure I fully agree with it. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I mean, this is definitely a conversation worth having. PC's always going to have the movement. I mean, they've always been able to do crazy things, you know, with their dodges and all around movement play and aerial play. So, I mean, they're always going to have that advantage. I mean, they're just going to have to probably deal with just a little bit more recoil. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it plays out. Let's talk about it down below. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button. And if you are, thank you so much for your support. What do you think they should have done? Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.